So welcome along to the Birmingham NEC 2023 Caravan Camping and Motorhome Show. It is full of vehicles, motorhomes, caravans, everything you can imagine that relates to camping. Just in the section here where there are a lot of smaller types of caravans that are self-contained, actually quite expensive when you consider the size of some of these, but actually the prices of caravans and motorhomes have gone up by about 30% in the last 5 years, 3 years, and those price increases, are they going to last? Are we going to find out that prices come back down again? The economy right now isn't exactly where it needs to be, and of course that will impact what happens with the price of some of these vehicles. It sort of feels at the minute, as I say, that probably there's an unnatural inflation of prices in houses and vehicles of about 30%. I remember some of the prices of when I was looking at motorhomes a couple of years back, and now looking at the same motorhomes again have gone up by about 30% in price. This one looks very similar to one that I did. Ended up losing about £28,000 on it because I put all of the, first of all I chose a very high spec van, and on top of that I then put a lot of Rimo furniture in there, which cost me a lot of money. It was sort of top of the range. It was really good. The bed was fantastic. It was a Rimo Variotech 3000. But having spent that sort of money on it, then trying to sell it back into the market was difficult because people had become used to cheaper vans, lower spec vehicles, cheaper furniture. So buying, like anything else, buying a van, buying a motorhome, or I assume even buying a caravan, comes with a certain level of risk, and timing is vital. So anyway, down here at the motorhome section, looking around a variety of VW camper vans.
Hi, my name is Sven from Hamburg, Germany, from the company Arvinger. We have a brand new invention. We are converting your Setford chemical toilet into a separation toilet. We do that by exchanging here the top part of the bowl by just taking out the inside of the bowl and putting in our own seat part. So it's really separating the fluid from the solid stuff here on top. It's still turnable and it's reversible, so you can reverse it if you want to sell your camper van. What we are separating here on top, we are separating on the bottom as well. We are using the service hatch here. Still on the back, service hatch is still in use in the same way as before, and we now have this new cassette. We take away the standard cassette and we have this double cassette. In the front part is the solid part. It will just fall down by gravity. And on the back side, by a urine pipe, we get these fluids into the back part of here. 7.7 liters means around 25 usages. The good thing is, here we've wrapped just the solids and can bin it. And if we put it back, we can also take away what we have here, the urine itself. So it's very easy to carry that on and put it into a toilet. That's what we are doing here. It's convertible for the 200, 220, 250 and 260 version, and it takes only 30 to 45 minutes to convert your chemical toilet into a separation toilet.
Pretty much in general, most of these camper van layouts are very similar inside. There's a kind of rock and roll bed or a bed on rails. Certainly some of the beds are particularly good. This is a very similar sort of look to the one I had. It's got the Variotech 3000 seat in there, but this one looks like a fixed seat. You can have these on a rail system as well, and that rail system allows you to move the seat right to the front, right to the back. And all of these tend to have the furniture down the right hand side, the seating system in the middle, which then turns into a bed, and a kind of pop-up top which provides an additional bed. So typically these are sort of like 4-berth when you've got them with a pop-up top. Some vans, like the one I had, actually I didn't have a pop-up top because I wanted to keep the integrity of the roof intact, and by doing that it was a 2-berth and you couldn't really stand up in it. And of course you get the benefit here of being able to stand in that sort of section there with the bed that pops up. So that is the kind of smaller or medium-sized camper van section, with mainly, in that section at least, VW T6.1 vehicles of a variety of different specs being used. And then over in this section here, I think we're moving up a little bit. There's a combination of kind of bigger, more like off-roady type vehicles. A Mercedes-Benz Heimer here. This one using the expanding pods at the back so that you can have a transverse bed arrangement, meaning you're able to keep more of the space inside, and it looks in there like perhaps there's a shower area. Typical toilet cassette there on the left hand side, the electric plug up connector there at the back. Kept the original back doors to the vehicle, and yeah, I'm just trying to work out how that bed doesn't look quite as big at the back, but of course you are getting those additional spaces at either side by the use of these little pods there that stick out, giving you that extra, what would it be, maybe 5 inches on that side, maybe 3 inches on that side. Still fairly compact as a vehicle. Of course, when you're thinking of camper vans, you've got that extra sort of faff of having to take an awning with you, because there isn't that much space in them really. I mean, they are very, very handy to have, the VW 6.1 vehicles, because you can almost use them as a daily driver as well as being your sort of camping vehicle. So that's the smaller van section. And all of these vans seem to be kind of mixed and matched in. I'm trying to see where the motorhome section is for the bigger motorhomes. I want to have a good look around those, both outside and in. These James Burrell products are pretty good. I saw one of the Land Rover Defenders where you get a kind of almost an umbrella style awning that comes out at the side, and then kind of concertinas all the way around to the back. I think you can see it there just about, so we'll just go in and have a little bit of a look at that. And it's particularly good bit of engineering here. So it attaches there at the other side to the roof rail. Of course there is a tent configuration on top, but then come through. And then on the Defender you can see that there is that kind of cantilevered section there where there is the sort of pivot point for the awning to work its way around the back. And if we just take a little look around the back, you can see how that then covers down the side of the vehicle and the back. And you can also get the side panels that go with these covers as well. And then you kind of get like a bit of a contained awning, and of course here they've got one of the kind of habitation pods that pull out of the back too. So it really does give you that kind of ability to take a vehicle like the Defender and convert it into a kind of camping arrangement, even if you didn't have that rooftop tent. Well, this one is a slightly different colour. It's kind of a Palmer Violets kind of colour. I'll just zoom out and let you see that. Well, it's quite a standout looking VW T6.1, nicely with the blacked out gloss look at the front. It's very busy down here today at the NEC, so I guess the weekends tend to be the busiest, but actually in addition to that, today is quite busy too. So this is Denby Camper Vans who are showing off some of their vehicles here. And there are some quite nice designs. If you look at the inside, I'll just squeeze through here, you can look at the inside of this one, and they've used, it's kind of a slightly different driftwood in there. But it is quite a nice arrangement there in the centre, the way they've got the little mini oven in and the fridge as well. This one looks like it's got a rock and roll bed arrangement at the back. Space there underneath to put your mini toilet, and then some storage down the right hand side there too. So that's the Denby Camper Vans section. And that one inside is a little bit brighter, a little bit fresher looking, and a nice bronzed coloured van with big alloys. And this is the one of these little teardrop campers, and at the back here you've got all of the kind of kitchen galley section, and then actually got huge wheels on there, so presumably designed to partly be taken, I don't know if I say off-road, but maybe certainly not only on-road, but yeah, huge wheels on that compared to the ones you normally see. And it does look pretty well built. It's got a bit of a funky design there with that kind of porthole even style window. It's typical caravan towing style setup, and of course that porthole door on the other side, making it like a round or circular configuration, looks a bit different with an opening window in there too. And just navigate my way around it. It's a bit like being on a campsite here with all of these guy ropes. You've just got to keep an eye on them, particularly when you're filming stuff, and not trip over them is part of the skill. So it's in a nice bright bumblebee yellow look. And it is sort of a innovative way of using a very small space that allows you to have living arrangements and just sort of basic food preparation arrangements too, but at the benefit of having it at a very small and convenient size. When you add the little sort of awning there at the back, you do get a nice space underneath where you can do a kind of kitchen work. You could have a little table under there, and some chairs. Unroll your vehicle alongside it, and you've got your own little camping space. And these are called a mink camper. There seem to be a lot of camper vans on display here this year, lots of VWT 6.1 vehicles. This one, Caledonian Campers. And it's amazing how expensive these vehicles have become in the last sort of 5 years. Of course, many people say that's because of the pandemic, and of course that did have a big boost. Now what's this one? Even more VWT 6.1 vehicles that we've got here. What if that's a Swedish name? It sort of looks like Swedish wording, but that's about as much as I know. Right. It's all a bit kind of weirdly set up around here this time. It's like there's lots of walking space, but actually when it comes to the getting in and having a look space, it's quite tight. So again, another rooftop tent kind of version. Another VWT 6.1 vehicle, and that one's kind of slightly different in terms of its interior. This one is kind of more the traditional Rimo Variotech 3000 seat in there, and it's got a nice kind of crisp looking design, nice lapis blue colour. Lots of lighting in there, and of course the typical rooftop pop-up. So that looks like a bit of a decent awning setup. Is it a teepee? Is it a tent? What is it that? Certainly a nice use of space there. Come on in and have a look, it says. Ah, right, there's a big bed in the middle. And it is kind of interesting how that little connecting tunnel there just comes down to the right level to fit the side there of the two-lay awning. See if we can just poke ourselves inside for a minute and have a quick look around.
And a nice series street. So this would be brilliant. Attach it to your caravan.
Nice little heating system there.
I love the idea of this.
Oops.
Yeah.
Some lighting in the top. A nice staging there of the unit. I suppose the benefit of that as well is that typically you're getting probably 3 times as much space as you will inside just having a VWT 6.1 van, and you're also getting that height, and of course I'm sure there are lots of additional items that you can add to that to increase its price, but also increase its practicality with heating and various bits and pieces. E-bikes now as well become quite a feature of any kind of camping and caravanning and motorhoming show. It is certainly busy here today. Section. So this is Hall 5. If you're planning on coming down here this weekend, this is Hall 5, which seems to be largely filled with, I'm going to say, probably 70% Volkswagen T6.1 vans that have been converted into camper vans in this section. Pretty much the whole hall, apart from various side stands like this, are dedicated to the variety of VW T6.1 vehicles. Some of the vehicles as well, a couple of Mercedes, larger vehicles, and then there are these Teardrop type campers dotted around too. So this is what mainly hall number 5 is. And now we'll make our way into the next hall if I can work out how to do that. This is the little kayaking section. These are all the inflatables. Seago Toronto. Quite interesting little array of sort of water sporty type things. Not badly priced really, are they? I mean, some of these things are kind of in the £500–600 bracket, not too bad. Particularly if you've got kids and you want to keep them occupied on holidays.
And here's the lineup for this year: Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Will Young, Julie Bradbury's coming as well. We've got the Invisible Circus, which is brilliant. Duke. So you know Hazel. This is my niece, his grandniece. So it's Duke. So it's Ed. So someone, my old next door neighbour, Marco, is in Duke, and my niece goes out with the other guy in Duke, and then there's a third one, and apparently they're playing the festival.
So this is a kind of section Vantage motorhomes which look like a series of van conversion vehicles. And you can see their full model range there, but that's nicely lit inside, very bright, very light and modern furnishings. Nice use of driftwood to kind of give it that both modern and natural feel as well at the same time. This one has a 100-watt roof-mounted solar panel, 201 105 amp leisure batteries, 25-litre underslung gas tank, as you can see I'm reading it from here, gas and electric blown air heating, 3-burner hob, oven and grill, and an 85-litre low-energy fridge freezer. This is the ORA or Aura, and it's sold. This is the Vantage Rio. I quite like the branding style of just having the 3 letters as part of their naming. Much easier to remember. And again, nice bright lighting and wood features inside. And a nice kind of, I don't know whether it's the use of the materials and the wood or the lights themselves, but they're not that kind of bright white, intense look that you often get with these vehicles. It's got a full-length Fiamma F80S awning on top as well. So yes, a whole range. If I can get myself in a nice position. I think post-pandemic this is probably the busiest time I have seen it down here at the NEC for the spring and autumn versions of these shows, and just absolutely packed with people. This is a Friday afternoon. I don't know how busy that means it's going to be on Saturday, but certainly for a Friday afternoon we got a huge number of people in here. I'm guessing it's people who have been thinking about buying a motorhome, a camper van, a caravan, and start thinking about spring and summer of 2023 and getting out there. People wanting to upgrade, buy accessories, buy brand new vehicles, or even look around vehicles with the intention then of trying to track down a good second-hand vehicle. This is a nice little sort of setup here, kind of has a camping theme to it. This is pretty well designed little thing. And often these little kind of features are just kind of hidden around. Out well over there, typical for awnings and tents and various other camping accessories, camping gear. So this section may well be, I think, the awnings and tents section, and looks like maybe through there is where all the motorhomes are. To have a look around those, and we will see what's on offer and what's on show. That would be a handy little look at this. Look at the size of this motorhome. This is definitely the size of motorhome you could fit down your drive without any problems. So this is showing the Aldi heating system here, and of course that isn't scaled down, so that's a full-size unit in this kind of small kind of demo vehicle that they've built. And it sort of shows you how the system works, what's involved in it, the different component parts. And these things in motorhomes are usually unseen, but actually very, very important when it comes to using a motorhome for any kind of length of time or in any sort of cold conditions where you want to be comfortable and you want to have heat and you want to have these devices kind of fairly well hidden. Of course, you can see there that the radiators on them are really, really small, so they can be hidden away in the wall panels quite well. So that's the Aldi heating system, and here we've got a kind of a vehicle before it ends up with the Alco chassis, before it ends up being on a base of a van. There's not a lot to them, is there, when you think about it, in terms of what's underneath that. It's like a bit of a caravan glued to the back of an Alco chassis. Right, we are going in. We're going into the throng of thousands of people gathered into a fairly small space. It is way, way busier than I thought it was going to be down here compared to last time I was here. And here we are with a range of caravans to my right and motorhomes to my left. It's various brands then, so we'll take a look around some of these. It might be very difficult to actually get inside them, so these are the kind of coach built looking vans that we've got here. This is a Chausson, alloy wheels, a nice kind of grey, tempered grey colour with sort of fairly bright green styling. And this one is, as a number of vehicles have now moved on the Ford base vehicle. Another one here which is also on the Ford base vehicle, so it seems that a lot of people are switching. And I don't know if that's because of availability or because of price or what, because Ford didn't really used to be a particular part of the camper or motorhome fraternity until recent times. This is the chanson section. Right, we want to go and have a look and see if there are any Bursner vehicles or any Carthago, or Carthago I guess I should call it. So we're going to work our way around. Up this lane. It feels like I need a shower, so maybe I should test out one of the showers in one of these motorhomes. Inside here we've got the nice cream coloured leather arrangement. Pretty warm in here today just because of the fact that we're at the show, and sort of a small kitchen area, little L-shaped lounge here. Plenty of space between the different sides of the vehicle actually, even though I'm carrying what is a fairly big camera around with me. You've got quite a bit of space inside here, a roof vent there, windows to the side and at the back with the usual fly screen attachments, a couple of wardrobes, and then the washroom. Quite small, but just about adequate to use. A nice kind of bright colour with the light use of the wood. Right, I'll step out so these people can have a look in. Thank you very much. That's quite a big size of vehicle actually, but then inside that looked quite small. And then we've got the sort of more of the larger. Just come round here. Sort of A-class motorhomes. This Grande Frontier, and also Trail Grande Frontier. I think it might be a case of waiting until 5 o'clock to have a look around them inside. It is just so busy here today. This is the winner of the MMM Awards 2023. Best motorhome for under £60,000. There it is. And also a trail model. We will do our inspection from out here while looking inside. It's got a TV in there. It's like an L-shaped lounge, the usual swivelling captain's chairs, a nice long bench to the right. And how much would one of these be? A Grande Frontier. So it has got what looks like a nice garage space inside there. If we just take a look in there, looks like they've got one of these little e-scooters, and Ducati branded all over it. And actually a pretty decent sized garage in there with doors at either side on this particular vehicle. So the one thing I don't think we're going to be able to do here is actually get inside and have a look around, which is going to be the constraint. Because I think there's a queue building. It is incredibly busy here at the NEC this time. Ah, there we go. That's the bit we were after. How much is it? That's the question. So on the price from 129,422, and the price as displayed is 131,580. That's a Grande Frontier GF88 A-Class motorhome from Auto Trail. And it is a nice looking vehicle. I mean, it just, even as you queue to look through the little slot of the door, you can see that it's using all of the sort of contemporary design features of Cartago or Frankia or other brands. But we will leave that there and we'll just keep walking around. It's going to be a little bit of a... And this is nice and easy to look into, isn't it? Again, I think it makes a huge difference to use the light coloured materials, the contemporary styling, the lighter coloured wood grains than it did. There was that kind of like period where motorhomes and campervans were all pretty much like almost like a redwood inside, which was darker, but with these new lighter colours it does kind of give you that more expansive feel inside of the vehicle. Nice looking van outside, nice colour scheme. V-Line SE, again from Auto Trail. I'm trying to see which one this is. It's the 540. So small kitchen as you're entering there, washroom in the centre. Pretty nice looking van. This is the Coachman Acadia 545. Actually looks reasonably priced at 31,500 on the road price. It's quite a decent sized caravan actually. Just going to see if there's anybody inside there. I don't know if there is or there isn't. So inside here it has a kind of a driftwood look to it. We just moved down into the bedroom area at the back. Nice space all the way around so you can actually get in and around the bed. A couple of little wardrobes and storage above. Shower on that side. And quite tight space I suppose, but then again it's difficult to sort of gauge what to expect in vehicles. You've got an oven and a hob, little kitchen area. It's good here to have this additional workspace on this side as well, so you're not just restricted there, and of course the flip up sideboard there, and then a nice little lounge area there at the front, and plenty of light coming in through this kind of upper window. So actually for the price this is a pretty good little setup, down as low as 31.5 is a really good price for this vehicle.